Hello, my name is Cindy Schaller. I'm French, so it will be the other way around, and I'll be focusing on interpreting and conference interpreting in particular. I'm going to kind of describe one particular assignment just to give you an idea of how it works before, during and after. So I'll focus on an assignment I did last year in April. It was about a week long, and it was in Dakar in Senegal. The main theme was financial crime and money laundering. It was for a training, and there were about 100 delegates. So beforehand, the agency mentioned the possibility of a project in March, sometime in March, and so I knew it would be between the 19th and the 25th of April, so I had quite a bit of time in front of me. I got the confirmation end of March, so again I had a good 3 weeks to prepare, almost 3 weeks. I got the name of my colleague well in advance, which is always quite beneficial to know who you're working with, to know that you can rely on that person, you will get on, and you just work well together. So it's always a good thing to have that in advance. I also got some documents from the agency, which is not always the case, unfortunately, so I was quite lucky on this side as well. I got presentations which I could work on, quite a lot of them, so because I'm not specialised in financial crime, I did a BA in languages as well beforehand, before the MA. It gave me time, and it gave me an idea of how it works, rather than just being thrown into it, which obviously wouldn't be possible. So, time to prepare relatively big quantity of documents for the job. Two big things here. Reassuring to know the colleague. On the negative side, I must say that the 3 weeks beforehand were quite hectic, and I just didn't have much time for myself at all. It was work, 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 work. I just had to work every day on these glossaries, learning the concepts as well as the terminology. Obviously I had to prepare for the more practical aspect as well, inoculations in this case, transport, etc. Then during the assignments, once we arrived in Dakar, it was a Saturday evening, so we had a whole day, the whole Sunday, to kind of get to know where the conference would be held and where everything was, and just find your marks. So obviously the Sunday, the rest of the Sunday, once I found everything I needed, was spent revising again. Then the conference training event ran from Monday morning to Thursday afternoon. As I said, there were between 90 and 100 delegates. We only had one language, it was only French and English, so only one booth, which was at the back of the room. So if you imagine at the back there, behind you, one floor up, you'd have booths, and you couldn't really see us, but we would see you, and we would see the presentations and the speakers, which always helps. So in the booth itself, we usually swapped between 20 to 30 minutes, it depends on whom you're working with, but that's more or less the time I usually work with. What we didn't know on the job was that every evening we would have to translate a case study for the next day, so that they could work on this case study every day, which obviously was quite heavy, because after a whole day interpreting, you don't want to translate. So we had to translate every evening. Sometimes it was quite technical and quite difficult, so it took us quite a while.